And please, let's be careful on our roads. Today also, I saw an accident at Zungo Junction with you. Please, look, around that time of the day, the traffic lights don't work. So drive as if the next person is going to make a mistake. When you get to the intersection, please be careful. Don't just drive thinking that everybody is going to wait for you. That's defensive approach to driving. What if the next person makes a mistake? You may have the right of way, but what if the next person makes a mistake? Please, let's be careful on our roads.
That question, though, what if there is far more of an almost absolute eventuality on Ghanaian roads?
Exactly.
Okay, then, let's learn how to say it right. It's brought to you by Corba Payment app, Corba, Our Lives Simplified, and Kingdom Books. At Kingdom, quality and affordability is their hallmark.
Something must be done.
Who is ready for another new word? Right, here it is. Insouciant. 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 It's an adjective which means not caring or showing a lack of concern. This is one of those words the English inherited from the French, who spell it the same way but pronounce it insouciant. The meaning is the same, uncaring, not bothered. Now, there are two French words at play here, which means not, and souciant, which means caring. Let's use insouciant in a sentence. When strangers insult me on social media, I usually respond with an insouciant shrug. Now, kids, I hope you've been writing down all these new words, because there will be a test later.
Thinking we should do like a little competition where the kids call in and then we get them to define or explain some of the
Yeah, that would be
new
nice.
words that we've shared on Say It Right.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice. That'd be nice.
All right, what's in the papers today? Oh, Samuel is here. How can I not say good morning to my good friend Samuel Mbura?
I saw you in one of the dungeons. Was that
yes,
Cape Coast?
yes. That was Anomabo.
Anomabo. Wow.
Guys, you need to visit Fort William in Anomabo.
I see.
Did you know it was built maybe 200 years after Cape Coast and Elmina castles? But more slaves went out through Fort William than Elmina Castle and Cape Coast Castle.
Well, can't wait for Explore.
You will love it.
I'd love that. Let's get into the Daily Statesman for today. Double track will not be implemented this year. So those who are going into Form 1 will not have two tracks. That's the story. Big boost for tourism, $25 million to upgrade iconic sites. And you've been visiting those sites. Baumia inaugurates 12 Ghana Armed Forces private sector partnerships. And Kandapa says we are on high alert against terrorists. Back page, Louis van Gaal from Manchester United manager reviews he has prostate cancer.
I have the finder notes about me here. Dr. Baumia inaugurates 12 GFA private sector partnership. Dr. Baumia launches new fashionable shoes from rejuvenated Kumasi shoe factory. With this Ghana Armed Forces story, that is on page 9. The benefits of this project, according to officials of the Ministry of Defense and the Ghana Armed Forces, the partnership between the GFA and private sector companies is designed, among others, to provide most of the logistics needs of the Ghana Armed Forces and other security services in an efficient and orderly manner. The Vice President in this occasion, one of his speeches, he made mention that it was worrying that the security agencies in the country actually depend largely on the importation of security hardware. It says that when this project is realized, it will address some of these challenges. Destination Ghana project launched, inviting and welcoming the rest of the world to visit Ghana.
Let's get to the Chronicle, beloved. And Proverbs chapter 1, verses 25 to 26. Because you have ignored all my counsel and would have none of my reproof, I will laugh at your calamity.
Hey.
Say that again.
Because you have ignored all my counsel and would have none of my reproof, I also will laugh at your calamity.
I see.
Friday's sitting. America TikTok lady appears in Parliament. This is the Chronicle. Splash.
And who is America TikTok?
Number 225. Safo Sarah Ajwa Miss Dom Kwabenya. But MPs protest. And there's a photograph here that the Chronicle says Sarah Ajwa Safo dancing on TikTok. So you know that in yesterday's parliamentary proceedings, we realized that Sarah Ajwa Safo's name was written as present on Friday. The MPs protested, and the first deputy speaker who was presiding directed the table office to effect the necessary corrections.
I think it was my MP, Mr. Ramadan, who brought up.
Yeah, he brought that issue up. Akufo-Addo defends e-levy on BBC. That's Akufo-Addo. He was asked that question about e-levy, that the people are already impoverished. Yeah. He says he's not taxing impoverished people. He's taxing an industry. We'll come back to this particular issue here on the Super Morning Show. And elect new executives. Comes with a photograph of Dennis Apia Labi Ampofo, who's president-elect. But, Kwesi Etuahene has also been suggesting that he won the elections. Back page talks about, sports. The Champions League quarterfinals. Well, fortunately, unfortunately, Manchester United isn't part of it. Let's get to other people.
How can that be fortunate?
I said fortunately or unfortunately. For some people, it's fortunately. Others, unfortunately.
Okay, we have
unfortunately.
the Vice President unveiling 13. It's actually 12 joint venture coins. Outdoors new fashionable shoes from Kumasi Shoe Factory. Jospon Group provides equipment for GFA. Tidal Waves sweep away homes
You mean
at
the GAF.
GAF, yes.
Ghana Armed Forces.
Ghana Armed Forces.
Not the Ghana Football Association.
Oh, no, not the
But
Ghana.
you said GFA.
Did I say GFA?
You did.
I did. Oh, okay, sorry.
You
GFA.
Said it the first time.
The first time.
So the second time, then it means that's how you are seeing it.
Ghana Armed Forces, okay. Tidal Waves sweep away homes at Gajivi, Solakope, Agaveji, Solakope in Ketu South. I think yesterday you had a conversation. Salakope. Oh, okay. Salakope in Ketu South. Yesterday you and Remo, you were talking about our approach towards addressing this issue of annual tidal challenges in the country. Yeah. We have countries like China. They are doing so well in reclaiming lands. If you go to the Netherlands, a whole province has actually been reclaimed through. Land from sea has been reclaimed through so many ways. One other point we are not exploring as a country is what experts will say empowering, where what they normally do is that they create canals along these coastal areas to pump out waters. So, we have been feeling with sand and then, building or pouring rocks around the coastal areas to defend these areas. And I think that it's high time our leaders moved out. And as they move out to explore other countries, they should learn some of these things and bring them in. Because in countries that are even advanced, they are still doing land reclamation projects. And I think that this thing shouldn't be about just building defense wall, but we should rather explore
Let me just chip this in here. Yesterday, Professor Kwesi Apiening-Addo, who's director of the Institute for Environment and Sanitation Studies at the University of Ghana, made a great point.
Okay.
He said, we've been using how to deal with this as the natural means or a hybrid way of doing things. And that this sea defense is not the way to go. The sea defense that we have been doing. He says you're only transferring the problem to another community.
Yeah.
So sea
spreading
defense.
Redirecting the way.
That's not the way to go.
Yeah.
So Emancipation Beach that was flooded. The last,
Is that the beach you went the last time?
Yes, they are changing the name now. They want to call it Wakati Beach or something like that. That's Emancipation Beach, and that's such a beautiful place to see it awash with these waves. Was so troubling to my heart. But you see, again, there isn't a joined up plan. Yeah. If we understood the value of some places like this, if we were, as a nation, driving tourism to places like this, we would protect them better. Okay. We would spend money to protect them better. I've seen in one of the papers talking about some 20-something odd million,
$25 million
$25 million to be spent on tourism. I hope there's a strategy to it. I hope they didn't pick names out of a hat. I've seen Cape Coast Castle, Elmina Castle. I've seen a bunch of castles and, Mole National Park and a few places. I hope these were not picked out of a hat. That we are actually addressing problems that will help us make more money from these places as time goes on.
All right. Winston, you're talking about accidents.
Yeah.
The Ghanaian Times is reporting that 5 have died in an accident at Akim Brimsu. 5 persons have lost their lives in an accident at Akim Brimsu in the eastern region. The bodies of the deceased, yet to be identified, have been deposited at the morgue of Kibi Government Hospital for autopsy.
Sad. We've been talking about this. Please, let's be careful on our roads. But let's get to the Business and Financial Times. Baumia unveils joint venture companies under DHOC. Kumasi Shoe Factory goes public with fashionable shoes. But the big one here says, mobile money loses 10 billion Ghana cedis in value as e-levy implementation nears. Let me just tell you something about this story, because we're told even before the electronic transaction takes effect next month, available data show that the mobile money platform has lost about 10 billion in value between November 2021 and January 2022, a development which this part says raises serious concerns about the new tax's ability to rake in the anticipated revenue. So, according to the summary of economic and financial data published by the Bank of Ghana, the mobile money platform, which is the largest payment system network in the country, seen as the main driver of financial inclusion, saw the transaction value decline to 76.2 billion in January 2021 from the 86.1 billion recorded in November 2021, the very month that e-levy was announced, indicating a drop of 9.9 billion. And the platform has not seen such a decline in value over the space of any 2 months within a year since it was introduced. And we're told that beside the drop in value, the total number of transactions also saw a 24 million decline in January 2022 from November 2021, and the number of active agents saw a decline of 7,000 within the same period. So that's just by way of information since the announcement of e-levy. And once we passed the bill, you've seen lots of advocacy on social media that close your accounts, do this, do that, and yes, you'd see a lot of people.
People are advocating.
Yes, people are advocating that.
I wonder why. I mean, if this is the kind of thing which your decision ought to be personal, not the kind of thing you would
exactly.
campaign.
It has to be personal.
If you decide that you're not going to use mobile money because you don't want to pay that tax, that's your choice. But why do you want others also to not, use mobile money? That's a strange one.
Anyway, the graphic business comes with the story airlines ghost, in quotes, 25 million US dollars whole airport. Professor Kwate wants government to reintroduce road tolls, suggests e-pass system for efficiency. Momo suffers further decline. Value of transactions falls by 8% to 76.2 billion Ghanaian cedis in January. These are some of the stories on the graphic business.
Well, I'll get to the daily guide for this morning. And Kempon, who's despite Ofori Sapon to Qatar, I almost said Qatar. Baumia launches Ghana Armed Forces 1D1F. Ghana on high alert. Collins Dada, 4 others trial for May 11. But the big one, I'll fight Nana, says Alban Sumana, Kingsford Bagby.
On what? Which issue?
He says, so Bagby, he's criticized the executive for allegedly resorting to the use of money and political patronage to undermine the legislature and its work, asserting that he is ready to fight any attempt to make Parliament subservient. But he's also talked about a few things. He says that there are many who chair some boards, who are members of boards, chief executive of some institutions, and they are still members of Parliament. So how can you come and criticize the same thing that you are involved in? This is patronage, political patronage, and we're going to look critically into our constitutional provisions to make sure that we don't allow this to continue. I'm happy that Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagby is making this point. Because in 2011, at the time when, yes, I think it was be around 2011, 10 or 11 thereabout, at the time when Cletus Avoka was majority leader of Parliament. Parliament, in its presentations to the Constitutional Review Commission, said they saw nothing with the current situation where the president appoints members of parliament as ministers. There are many people who have said, don't let us do that. Because in our part of the world, people actually fight to get into parliament because they want to catch the eye of the president. And I've heard minister, at the time, MP saying, after State of the Nation address and budget, Mbeka Sebia, deputy minister. So that's the mindset. That's the mindset. They're getting into parliament because they just want to catch the eye of the president and be made a deputy minister or a minister. I mean, Bagin has made that point. And I think that the very idea of a hybrid system based on what we saw in the Liman administration, where we see where budget was rejected, and so if a budget was rejected, we should ensure that next time you have members of parliament who are ministers so they can understand government agenda. All right, let's move away from
So the last paper with me is the No Crusading Guide, and the big story there is no terrorist attack on Ghana. National Security Minister, he is making reference to what is happening in Burkina Faso, and the Minister of National Security, Albert Kandapar, has said Ghana has not experienced any form of terrorist attack. This, he said, does not mean the country is relaxing on its security measures. He said these while answering questions on the security situation in Ghana in Parliament on Monday, April 4. And I think that the security agencies, we must commend them. They are doing so well at the borders, deploying their men there. And I must say that we all have to feed the security agencies with the relevant information to tackle this issue of terrorist infiltration into a country.
Let's get to the daily graphic finally. And Destination Ghana launched. Project targets 1 million tourists from UK, Europe annually. And so you know that Ghana has launched a flagship tourism project, Destination Ghana, to whip up interest among travelers around the world to look to Ghana to satisfy their leisure and adventure curiosities. And the president was asked that question: why should Ghana be the destination based on all these fundamentals? We'll get into that conversation. But government spends 5 million Ghana cedis on Ajen Kotoku Onion Market. Don't abandon COVID-19 protocols, Ghana Health Service cautions public. And country on high alert against terrorist attacks, Minister of National Security assures. And latest tidal waves in Qatar, NADMO responds with relief items and rescue boats.
Okay then, let's do the online review. It's brought to us by Zenith Bank in your best interest and Goyle Good Energy.
And Goyle, your oil marketing company of choice, keeps making life so convenient for you. Goyle now accepts Momo for all fuel purchases at selected stations. Just remember to Momo it at Goyle, and that's not all. You can also use your bank card to buy fuel at Goyle, and this is made possible by APSA. Drive to Goyle stations now, buy your fuel, pay by Momo or a bank card, and you're good to go. Visit Goyle social media platforms: Facebook, that's Goyle.official, Instagram, Goyle_GH, and Twitter, Goyle_official. For more information on the service stations, you can conveniently use Momo. Goyle Good Energy, Goyle Yayeti.
Okay then. Push has come to shove. Adjoa Safo to be referred to Privileges Committee. That's according to the majority leader. Digital economy is the biggest in the country. It's not had any taxation at all. Akufo-Addo justifies e-levy. More stories on myjoyonline.com. Right now, though, it's time for the BBC News, brought to us by Fidelity Bank, believe with us, and Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner.
Hey, Evokoku, what brings you to my house this early morning? I hope all is well.
All is never well with me, Nick Bakbo. After paying 3 times for the land for my project, the construction workers are now giving me wahala. From material overestimation to small stealing. I am tired.
I told you so, Evokoku.
It's all because you are trying to become builders when you're corporate workers and business people. Edlum has products tailored to meet your needs. Villas 3 at Amrahia, where there are finished homes. Conveniente, also at Amrahia, where it's contained